So we're here in the Metro Parks in Rocky River. It's pretty much a perfect day to go riding. I mean, it is beautiful outside. So this is my bike. We have a 2014 Honda CTX 700N. This bike is a naked model, as the N implies. These saddlebags here were extra, and the seat for passengers. Try not to fall over the edge here in the water. First and foremost, it is a really good looking bike in my opinion. Red looks good on anything to me. It sits right around 4,000 RPM on the highway. The one thing that I don't like about highway travel on this bike is there's no windshield. It's a naked bike, so there's no windshield. And the wind buffeting gets pretty rough sometimes for it. But other than that, around the city, I absolutely love this thing. Because it looks like a sport bike, but it leans you back like a touring bike. And it is a relaxed riding position. It's very comfortable. The seat's not too bad. I've ridden down to Columbus on that seat and not stood up for 2.5 hours. And I made it. I would say that it was a little rough, but that was probably due to the wind buffeting at 70 miles an hour. It's something you'd have to get used to. Without having a windshield really sucks on any bike, unless it's hot as balls where you live. But still, the wind buffeting kind of throws you around. It's like a left to right. It's uncomfortable when that happens. Can you do a shout out to Knee Breeze 216?
Knee Breeze 216.
Thank you. Yeah, I wonder how many people these guys hit with their Mustangs. Despite all the hate on Mustangs, I mean, these are still beautiful cars. If I start doing events, what would you guys want to meet up and do? Would you want to go on like a bar ride or go out to a restaurant? If we do a restaurant ride and then like 100 people show up, we're going to run into some problems. So I guess probably like a ride through the Metro Park would be fun to do. Hey, what's your guys' opinion on gear? Because I am the only person I know out of all age groups of motorcycle riders that wears full gear. People that I personally know, I'm the only person that wears full gear when he rides. It's like overkill maybe for their riding style. Maybe they don't do a lot of highway riding or something, but I wear gloves, jacket, pants, and leather boots. I don't have a steel toe. I don't have motorcycle boots, because I feel comfortable and safe enough with these boots. A lot of the bagger riders that I see don't wear a lot of gear. Most of them, as a matter of fact, don't really wear a helmet. I see a lot of sport bike riders wearing jackets and helmets. That seems to be the standard gear that people wear, is a jacket and a helmet. I haven't seen too many people wearing gloves when they ride, which in my opinion is kind of one of the most vital parts. If you go down in a crash and you mess up your hands, you're going to be out of work, you know. You got to use your hands whenever you're working. But what about your fingers that, you know, you just rip down clean to the bone? One of these riders, they went down and got really bad road rash. Even with his jacket on, his arm still got banged up really bad. Stop. No trespassing. Delivery drive only. Does anybody else do this, or is this just me? Like, I feel like every time I go out riding, I just kind of explore places that maybe you're not supposed to be. I'm sure it matters to park security if they catch me screwing around back there, in which case I'm just gonna drop a gear and disappear. There's one right there. What's up? No shout outs today. I guess I could have tried a little harder. All right, what am I going to talk about that people are going to want to listen to? Then I realized it's not so much about what people want to listen to, it's what they want to see. Boy, this place is popping today. For those of you who don't live in Ohio, it was freaking freezing last week. Ohio likes to do this thing where it taunts you. The weather will be like 85 degrees one day, and then the next day it'll be like 50 degrees outside. It's freaking ridiculous. I love me some tunnels. I try and give pedestrians a little like throttle blip so they know I'm coming, but my bike is so quiet they hardly ever hear it. The exhaust that comes stock on the CTX 700 makes it pretty much as quiet as a Jetson car. Look at this dude, just cut right in front of me. cut across lanes. Look at this guy, just cut right in front of me. Doesn't even care in his little Chrysler 300. The thing is too, like, you have to get mad at them, but you can't even do anything because they're cars. You can't, like, try and mess with them and cut them back off out of spite or something because they're bigger than you, and if you make a mistake, they're just going to run you over. Going over the speed limit around corners is kind of hard not to. Hey, since two motorcycles just passed, and it just reminded me, if you're watching in another state, do you guys do the motorcycle wave? Is that a universal thing? And if you don't, the motorcycle wave is when you're going past another rider coming the opposite direction, and you put your left arm out and you give them one of these guys here. When someone first gave me the motorcycle wave, I was like, oh, I wonder if I knew who that is, or oh, maybe it's just some dude being cool. And then after a while I thought, maybe is it like a gear thing? Like I have a helmet or a camera. I could see, like, if you're in a state like Cali where there's a bike passing you every 2 seconds, you might not do it. Because now that I think about it, I've been watching motovlogs of other guys, and I don't ever see them do the motorcycle wave. And these guys were in Georgia, Cali, Virginia, the southern states where there's a lot of motorcycles, so maybe it's just an Ohio thing.